Hello and welcome back to episode 12 of my Space Engineers Vanilla Let's Play. I have all of my thrusters all welded up now, finally. It took a lot longer than I thought it would. And I went ahead and while I was waiting on gold and platinum to cut down, added a couple rows of solar panels on each side. I think it adds to the shape. Let me get the sun out of everybody's face here. I think it kind of adds to the shape, makes it look a little bit nicer. And I'm not sure how well the bridge itself is going to come about, because I really want to use the bridge blocks. So, first things first, this seat's going to have to go. I will replace everything on the new one, so let's see. Grab the bridge helm. Which requires steel. Fortunately, I still got a good chunk of that left over. So put in the bridge helm. And then I want bridge button panel. I need a girder for that one. Okay. And then, not the floorless, bridge floor. And then these need to come out a little bit more because I want to anchor back to here. All right. Let's see. Yeah, these will work. And back to bridge with floor. So with any luck, not only will I be finishing the bridge today, but also getting to Europa finally. One of the reasons it took me so long to get everything welded together is I actually had to go all the way back to where my comet was, because that's where all of my labeled ore is, and I had tried flying around different places over there at the this is where I got to point, looking for stuff, and wasn't having much luck on finding platinum and gold, so I just went all the way back to where I had some already found and pretty much sat there for a day and a half, give or take, to get all of the ore cut down so I could make my thruster components. Oh, need more steel. You know, that is the great thing about having a jump drive on here. It wasn't that hard to get back over there and to get over to this location. All right. Four, 5, 6, 7. Why is it not giving me that one? That is weird. Oh, because it's looking at the hydrogen thruster. That explains it. And then the button panel. Alright, so that's everything but the bulletproof glass. 30 a piece. Except for the middle, or the corner bits, which are 20. So let's go ahead and grab those. And then I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more bits. Well, that was a little fast on the turn. Getting a little twitchy today. Usually doesn't happen while I'm recording videos, but I guess my body decides when it wants to screw me over. That's where the 1 goes. Why is it not giving me that 1? Am I out of silicon? I can't be out of silicon. I am not out of silicon. But I don't have room in here for the silicon. There we go. I knew that shouldn't have been a thing. I should honestly have enough to fully complete this for silicon. And that includes putting windows over the top here. It's going to be the 2x1s for a roof on this. And then even though this ship is not meant for combat, I do want it to be able to defend itself, hence all the guns on the top. I think I'm going to use these 4 areas for artillery cannons. I think that would be useful. This needs to move down. So let's grab that vent back. Right there. I don't have any more steel on me. Let's get some more of that because this is going to need to be filled in. Grab some inset lights there and there. And helps if I go to the right one. Slot that in right there.
Energy low.
Energy low is easy to fix. Not so much the oxygen low part, but that's not a problem yet. So let's just sit here for a moment. How's that starting to look? I'm not entirely sure it will fit the shapes of the ship overall, but I do want it to look decent. At the very least. I am out of interior plates, so let's get those made. That's not needed. That's all going to be above the bridge. And like I said, I'm putting artillery cannons here. Gonna need room for those. Well, I did not completely miss the ship. You saw nothing. Oh, I thought I could get that from the ground. Apparently not. But there we go. Let's go ahead and turn off my light. And so 230 is what I was using. And let's go with 10 for a radius. SG bridge lights. Ah, that looks much nicer. Alright, now I'm going to need girders. Lots of girders. So that I can just get rid of these and put my 1x2 window. That's the slope. Don't want the slope. 1x2 flat. There we go. So that would be the wrong way. Why are you going way up there? Not where I told you to go. Okay, try again. I'm completely out of all of that. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Get all of that moving, and then I'll be able to actually open this door because this will be pressurized. And that'll be nice. And then I'll just have to do some shaping on the outside. I am very much pointed right at Europa, right there. I guess I can get rid of this. Don't really need that anymore. So I decided not to go back there, but instead to blaze a new path. Makes it to where I can actually fly without too much worry. Why are you not giving me the girders? There we go. Alright, so let's get these guys welded up. Guess I should have those girders now. You're not finished. And then there we go. Now, you should start pressurizing. Yes. Awesome. So now I have nice visible area. And because I was always going out and never in, that was set up wrong. So yeah, my up and down thrusts are all in here. Got all of these all welded up. I might want to actually drop each of these down one, all of my downward thrust. I'll get there. Oh, nice. I wasn't moving that fast, was I? Okay, so let's just go back in here and go get my stuff back. I'll just walk this time. It appears to be safer. You can have those crappy tools, and hopefully you all go away. It should. Oh, my dampers are off. That's the problem. Okay. So let's see. I can still get to that from the bottom. So let's grab some more steel. Grab some artillery cannons. Actually, let's get rid of those windows. I don't know if I'll ever use that additional bit up top, but you know, just in case, I'll put it there. All right. Very glad I can still get to that from the bottom, because otherwise I would have to fly inside to get the parts I need. But eventually this is all going to be closed off. I do want to put some shaping underneath. And I still have to make ammo for those. And I guess a camera right here would be useful. So let's see if I can just grab a little bit of steel and get that put up. Not car, camera. Okay, so you want that little light downward, like it shows on the thumbnail there on number 7. Let's just go ahead and grab that. Okay. One artillery cannon complete. Just 3 more to go. I was hoping I had picked up some of the computers. Guess not. Or wait, these require computers too, don't they? Yes. 2. Fortunately, I'm sure you're noticing I'm not pausing so quickly here to be able to get stuff because I made sure I have a plan, and I'm pretty sure I have everything I need to achieve the plan. It's just a matter of getting the assemblers to work for me and actually give me my parts. And there were 10 steel plates that I had already picked up. Alright, there's my 4 artillery cannons and a camera. So now I just need a bunch of steel so I can try to set up this to have better shape to it. Wonder if I could slope up from the bottom here to it. Might be easier to slope from here to the bottom. That way I can tell when I've reached the right area and switch things around. So let's see, number 5. Get my lights on here. I've been wanting to use these bridge blocks since they were added in, but I had not had much luck in figuring out a way to use them. But I think this is looking pretty good. Unfortunately, I won't be able to put anything in back here, so I think I'll just leave those sides as they are. So let's see, we've got 1, 2 to go down. Let me grab some more steel. So what if I went ahead and just did this? When you're doing things like I'm doing right here, make sure you leave yourself room to be able to get to all of the different blocks to weld them up. Which I have here, barely. And one more. So Oh no, should I put a door in here just in case I'm outside the ship and I need to get in here to this cargo? I don't think I have any other access out towards the bottom of the ship. I do have my two connectors up top. And of course, I could probably grab things out of here as well. I can. So, yeah, I think I'll be fine. And I just talked myself into it after trying to talk myself out of it. So let's see, sliding door, and let's just squeak that in right there. Get all this welded up. Gonna need more steel in just a second. It gets eaten quick welding up these large steel blocks. Alright, just this last bit. Well, let me see what the nose looks like now.
Energy low.
Yeah, I like that. I would prefer not having the armor trims on there. There is a mod to fix that, but that would kind of defeat the purpose of this being a vanilla play. I need O2 and energy, so let's just jump back in the ore eater. Ah. Yeah, that looks pretty nice. That's enough to get some things done. I can technically weld all this up from inside and make things easier on my hydrogen. Whoop. It gave me a little bit of a lag there when it ran out. Let's see here. There we go. So let's take that back out because I've got steel on me. I can put in there. All right. And I'm gonna need these walls here. It is often better to have a full plan for your build before you get started. And then you won't wind up having to do hodgepodge things like I did here. But whatever, it seems to have functioned. Now let's see, can I add some onto here to make this look a little bit better? Yeah. And I just need a bit more steel because I want to do some slopes on the top of those. Leaves the top ones visibly open, but I am okay with that. A little bit of just good enough engineering. There we go. I like it. One other thing that I want to put on before I head out to Europa. Yeah, that's the right way. Ship is a lot longer than I thought it was. But I've gotten a bit more used to flinging back and forth across it. Hitbox bigger than object. That is probably the main thing I'm looking forward to with Space Engineers 2 is hitboxes the size of the objects. Just seems like a much better idea.
Energy low.
Oh, I'll survive. Mostly. I guess while I'm waiting on that, since it needs more stuff being carved out. Okay. Now, hopefully my parts are ready. There we go. There's everything. I shouldn't need to go back in there again because once I'm done with this, it'll actually be a completed ship ready to make its flight to Europa and land. Here's the funny thing. I know I want to be playing on Europa. That's where I wanted to be from the start, but you can't really start there. There's no stone. I have no idea what I want to do there, as though I want to be there doing things. Anybody else ever have that issue? Go ahead and throw down in the comments below what you think I should be doing once I make it to Europa. Because here we go. That's actually pretty good acceleration. And I am going to go ahead and just let this accelerate for the time being. And then turn off dampers because I don't have any of my controls on. Time to set those up. So first, groups. SG. That will help things out a bit. Put my battery power in. Recharge on off. I don't need the lights. I technically don't even need the gyros. So yeah, I'm going to leave the gyroscopes off. Instead, let's put the ion thrusters on and off. And the hydro thrusters on and off. And then I need the brakes. I'll put hydro as number 2 and ion as number 1. Wait, why is this popping up? That is not part of the Stargazer. Right, I need the jump drive, which I had on number 5 for the jump. I would like to have my ore detector and antenna down here, so I can turn those on and off. Page 2, weapon blocks, and a camera, which would be this one, right? Oh yeah, and that is definitely Europa that I am flying towards, which is great. It is not the prettiest ship, but it is definitely a functional ship. But let's see here, let's go to production, ammo, artillery shells. I hope I've got enough for that. Guess I'll find out. Well, it seems to be making them fine, so we'll call that good. I'm going to go ahead and hit my blind jump now. Let's see. Artillery is loaded. Assault cannons loaded. Alright, so at this point I think I am going to go ahead and pause and cut away. I'll bring it back when we're closer to Europa and being able to land. Okay, so I have made it to Europa. Now it's just a matter of getting close enough to actually land. But wanted to go ahead and jump back in and show that I'm here. I'll bring it right back as soon as I am actually in the gravity well. Because, yeah, it takes a while to get places when your jump drive won't let you jump any further. Okay, and here we are coming in. Better throw on that, well, that was turning off thrusters. Turn on my hydrogen thrusters. There we go. Turn off those brakes. Let it just kind of slide into the uber thin atmosphere of Europa. And it does actually have atmosphere. You can use atmospheric thrusters here. It's just not a breathable atmosphere, much like Mars over there. Ion brake should slow me down decent enough here. Thank you, unidentified signal, for the lag you gave. Boy, that's really close. I don't want to go there. I do not have a ship that can handle whatever is going to be over there. So here we are. You can see I'm now entering the atmosphere. Still working on slowing down. Oh, that's interesting, the way the snow is sunbursting up here. Looks like I'm coming down in a snowstorm. Only 140 meters from the ground. Alright, 90 meters. Let's get on down here. Well, I guess I should get over something that's a bit more solid instead of landing on a hill. I'm not going to lie, this actually worked better than I thought it would. Alright. So here we are. I finally made it to Europa. And I am parked on an incline, but whatever, it's fine. Woohoo, feet on the ground. So it looks like one of these broke. Messed up the steel that it was sitting on. Get that fixed up. This one's working fine. These two aren't even on the ground. I guess because my Gatling cannons hit the ground. I thought there was enough room for that, but I guess not. Well, the more you know. Alright. So apparently those are are almost exactly the same size. So if you enjoyed today's video, go ahead and hit that like button down below. And if you're wanting to see what I'm getting up to, there's always that subscribe button. If you have any ideas what I should do now that I finally made it to Europa, go ahead and shove that in the comments. Until next time, have a good one.